feeds from Bluegrass Festival with extremely poor coverage from Verizon. So I went and got me a new AT&T wireless device, and then I'm going to be putting an access point in the RV where I'll have better coverage, at least within a couple hundred feet of the RV. But I'm out here today working on some storm cleanup. We had the worst hailstorm in the history of this area. Let me see if I can flip this thing around. I don't even know how to do it anymore. Oh, there it is. Got to put my glasses on. We had the worst hailstorm, and well, definitely the worst hail, not the worst storm we've had. But actually, all of these chairs here either blew over or slid over this way. So it was probably 60-mile-an-hour gust. That's this tree that died from the hurricane, dropping pieces. I need to cut that thing down. And my good old Tempest up here, I really hate to call them out, but I emailed tech support when I first got that thing. It's really a neat weather station, but the wind reading on it has always been terrible. I was getting, 30, 40 mile per hour gusts when it was probably 12 or 14. So I called them or messaged them. They put an update in there, and the highest it's ever recorded since then was about 31 miles per hour. And, well, I hate to tell you this, but when you're blowing metal chairs around and this thing with the other thing in there, that thing's pretty hard to slide. When you're blowing that around and you're watching big branches come out and you've got giant hail, we had a heck of a hailstorm. It sounded like these windows are going to break out. It wasn't 12, but that's what it registered. So I contacted support, and they said, "Oh, well, it's placement. Everybody puts them in a bad spot." They want me to send pictures, but the wind was coming. Let me flip one more time. The wind was coming from that direction there, so you can see it's pretty good opening through there. And I realize if it's not up on a tower 200 feet, you may not get the wind at 200 feet, but there was definitely enough wind to blow things around. So anyway, not going to make this very long, but there are a lot of things going on in the world of ZZ3Astro, and I will disclose them at some point if possible. But because of primarily business reasons, we've had a lot of success with business here in the last couple of years, and I can't put that at risk. I've got employees that rely on me, so I don't want competitors getting inside information, things like that. But we've been very blessed, let's put it that way, and we've been busy. I don't know how much I can say. Things are going okay. That's all I'm going to say about that for right now. But there could be some interesting things happening here in the very near future. Probably would be pretty surprising to some of you guys out there. The IROC is officially going away. Again, I don't want to get into too many details, but I'm going to be selling the property that the IROC resides at and the shop and everything else. My condition has not improved in any way, so it's minimal time that I can get in the shop and work on the car. Aside from just having shortage of time right now, and you guys know if I have any free time, I'm usually on the road doing bluegrass now, and just physically speaking, I could go and work on the car for a weekend and then be in bad shape for a week. It's just not worth it to me. Now, the 49 is the one car that I plan to hang on to, and I need the shop and I need the lift to do things to it, but at this point right now, with many of the things that are in motion, the main thing is right now I want to reduce my property holdings in this area for more reasons than one. Not the least of which is the fact that I wish I could show you guys the hailstorm we had. I was lucky. My truck was in the shop. It doesn't have a covered place to park. And all of our other cars are undercover. But a friend of mine sent pictures, and again, I hate that YouTube doesn't allow you to, throw a thumbnail in here in the middle of a video. But all of his vehicles were outside, and they all got hail damage, and they didn't lose any windows. But this is unheard of down here in Northwest Florida. We don't see big hail. They had higher than golf ball size hail in certain areas over there. It's at above the threshold, I guess, for whatever size you have to put some real dings in your hood and your roof. That's what they had. So yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot more tornadoes here in Northwest Florida lately, more significant tornadoes, and now a hail threat. One of the few things that I could say was really great about living down here was, we don't get giant hail or big or even large hail. And, we might get a tornado or two from a hurricane, but we usually don't get more than an EF1, in any other situation. And now man, I'll tell you, this storm that came through here yesterday or the day before yesterday, it was significant. I was looking at the velocities on the radar thinking, man, we might be in trouble. And so right here is a bay just behind, uh, there's really just two streets right here, and then it's the bay. And a lot of times these storms will come in heading to the northeast, and it's oriented with the bay, and so you get water spouts out there, and you can see the wall clouds going by. So I saw the wall cloud go by, and in the west it was very bright, and so the shelf cloud and all that went through, and then it got real light, real light. And I thought, well, I guess we dodged the bullet. And about that time, this hail started coming down, you wouldn't believe, and wind. And so we don't usually get supercells in this area. So we're not used to having a dark storm come through, and then on the back side, there's giant hail or large hail. I wouldn't say giant hail, large hail, and a tornado hanging off the back side of it. That's just not what we're used to down here. And boy, if that's the shift we're getting, I'm not sure what's left to stay here, because we also get Cat 5 hurricanes, yellow flies, giant mosquitoes, a lot of heat, and terrible traffic, which is getting worse by the day as more people move down here from other places. So anyway, hanging in there. The situation with my RA has not improved, as I mentioned. Actually was worse for a while with a new treatment, but I switched treatments, and so it's kind of gone back to where it was before I started, which is good, but it hasn't gotten better. And yes, my pool is green. It looks pretty good right now compared to what it looked like a week ago. I just brushed it, trying to stir up the last of the algae. One of the glories of owning a pool is maintenance, and my sand filter went out, so I just had to spend about $1,100 getting a new sand filter put in. And so it took, from the time that I requested it to them coming out and actually doing something about it, was about 3 weeks. And I actually had put calls into other people first, which I gave up on. And that's been an ongoing theme here in the area. You want to get work done. Well, I'll give you an example. I decided that all of this old landscaping that's pretty much gone to crap because of the hurricane, and she just sold the house to us kind of as it was. So I contacted landscaper and, signs down the road kind of thing, and got an agreement with this guy to come and just completely redo the front yard. I should show you guys. Why not, right? Let's go have some fun. This is another project, this deck wood we're getting ready to repaint. I actually was going to tear all this out and expand the concrete deck, have pavers put in, and do a screen enclosure. But after the hailstorm, I think I've changed my mind. I saw a video of somebody's screen enclosure getting destroyed by hailstones. But anyway, I thought I had a landscaper that was going to come and fix all this for me. And what we ended up with was 5 weeks ago tomorrow, I tore everything out of the front yard that I wanted gone, which was pretty much everything. 5 weeks ago now. All my hedges, all my plants, everything came out. I left these 3 trees, and then everything here in the middle is all being stripped out and coordinating with what they're going to put in here. And the guy kept he kept giving me excuses. Now, they're supposed to be doing my grass too. We're trying to eliminate the weeds and things. It's a big problem in the area because of property like this one that's abandoned for the last 5 years now. They mow it, and that's about it. But anyway, he kept giving me excuses about he had this come up or that come up, or he was sick and he had a job somewhere else. And anyway, at the end of the day, I fired him about a week and a half ago. So now I've got somebody new that's supposed to be, and they've already messaged me and they're asking me questions. So it's an improvement. So maybe we'll have plants here soon. And after, if they do a good job with that, then we're going to come in here and do the same thing. We're going to redo these back here. So, and I don't know, maybe I'll get fancy. I mean, this used to all have mulch. It was all kind of cleaned up looking. So, also, I was supposed to get a seawall put in when I first moved in here, and the guy got a big deposit, and that was the last I saw him for a long time. So, luckily, through a lot of luck and some investigative work, I was able to get my deposit back. Um, and so now we're talking about maybe doing a seawall and a boathouse, but I don't know. It's gotten a lot more expensive. So I don't know if I'll be using a boat or not. So anyway, so I'm selling the IROC, keeping the 49. I just decided the IROC is not, it's just not in my future. I was, for a brief time, if I were going to keep it, it would be an LT1 or an LT4 out of a late model Camaro. But I just don't think I would use it very much. I don't have much time. I'm not really interested in the drag strip. The street seems, dead with these draconian Florida laws on that, which is the desired effect. But I think they're pretty over the top if you're on some back country road and there's no traffic, after 9 o'clock at night, that you can lose your car and your entire future with a criminal record. So I just choose not to participate and ruin myself that way. But I'm really enjoying bluegrass, and I like the traveling camping thing, and it's just what I'm into now. So I'm sure a lot of people are disappointed. I do like the 49, but I just pretty much drive it 2 or 3 times a week, take it to lunch, take it out to a cruise in, and that's about it in my old age. So anyway, that's about all that's going on. I miss you guys. I wish I could do, videos like I used to, but I cannot do it. There, like I said, there are business reasons, there are health reasons. I'm just not in the same mindset that I was at one time, and being able to do that. And I've also, quite honestly, I've become a lot more, I don't know, I've just become a lot more private, since certain things have transpired in the country. We're very, um, I don't know, just divided and sectioned off, and people get offended by each other. And I don't know, I just missed the time when I didn't know the politics of friends. I would go to the Sonic for a night of street racing or something, and I'd pull up, and I had all these people I knew, hundreds of people over the years, and we didn't care about it, and we didn't discuss it. It was almost a private issue, and we didn't have Facebook, so you didn't see what somebody was going to share or what they liked, what they thought. If they wanted to disclose it to you, you would have a conversation. What do you think about blah blah blah? And that was it. It was never everything about you laid out to be judged and hated or liked or whatever else, thumbs down, thumbs up. And I don't think we're going to go back to that, but I do miss it. So I've just done my part in my life to get off the social media as much as I can. Obviously I retain the ability of buying and selling and following groups on Facebook, and upload interesting video or two every now and then if I can see a tornado or something. But pretty much, that's just the way things are now for me. So hope you guys are doing well, and maybe I'll, upload a video here and there, but I just don't have a whole lot to say. I have a lot to say. I'm just not going to say it. And but I will tell you that there are definitely some big things in motion. Uh, hmm. I really want to talk about some of this. Let's just say that once the wheels are turning, there will definitely be videos about it, and even possibly more videos after some things transpire that are very likely to transpire. Nothing signed at this point. All right, well, I guess I'm going to call it quits. So, again, I hope you guys are doing well. Leave a comment. We'll see you guys later.